Hi, Assalamualaikum to the lecturer and my fellow friends. Today, I would like to present a case of study capacity planning and development under subject EMM3706 Production Planning and Automation System. We are from Group A6. So here is my members' names and their number memory. Next. So for the introduction, capacity planning can be defined as strategic planning that involves the process of evaluating which is required production capacity of an organization to meet changing product demand. So they have a three basic steps to capacity planning. First is a measure, second is analyze, and third is formulate. Firstly, in the step of measure, you need to assess your resource capacity. In the second step is you need to analyze. In this step, you need to spend time analyzing the data with creating graph. It will help you to understand the statistic and make it easier to forecast demand. And the final step is formulate. In this step, you need to take all the information you have acquired and make a plan. The formulation step allows you to see the potential outcome of various alternatives so that you can make the optimal choice. Next. So for the problem statement, a Putra production company has a problem in the automation system and production planning for bearing processing. The automation system department and production department have a design capacity of 100 products per day. Its effective capacity, however, is at 84 products per day, and it is actual output per day. The manager would like to increase the number of products per day. Solve the problem as follows. We have a first issue. First issue is explain the following factors and which factor we recommend that the manager need to investigate. They have four factors, which is a quality problem, absenteeism, automation system, and lastly, a production planning. You need to explain each of the factor and give your reason. In the second issue is find a recent article or journal or conference proceeding that describe how an organization is struggling with one or more of this issue and make recommendation on what the organization need to do to overcome this difficulty. That's all from me.
So
Okay,
so far, I think this one I will present because so far just present the problem statement. So the quality problem. Can I present? So first one, the factor that we need to require is the quality problem. So to begin with, and first, quality is a critical issue that may influence the fulfillment of clients and devotion as they proceed to buy the item. So, in other words, quality item makes a fundamental commitment to long-term income and productivity. So, for publicating companies, components such as security, productivity, and unwavering quality would influence the quality of an item and eventually impact by a large client fulfillment. So separated from that, quality can be characterized and measured in an unexpected way depending on the group of onlookers. So the second factors I will pass to the next presenter.
okay, thank you, Najmi. So it's for me, it's very crucial in order for us to have a look on these four factors, which influencing the production in the company. So Najmi have briefly talked about the first one, the quality problem. So the second one is what we call is as absenteeism. So absenteeism for the root word absence, which means the state of not being somewhere or lack of existence. So absenteeism in the workplace can be categorized in three forms, in which the first one is breaks, second one lateness, and also the third one lower productivity. So there is a few common factors that affected for absenteeism. For example, harassment, a lack of motivation, and also stress. So the third one is automation system. So basically, automation system is automating the operation of an equipment, a process, or a system. So in terms of automation benefits, there are a few benefits for automation. The first one, Obviously, the system will reduce the need to manipulate paper documents because we are going to go for digitalization. So the second one is technology will make better use of our staff time. So as you can see, the last one is the product planning. So product planning is basically is the act of making a guide for the design and production of a product or benefit. Actually, product planning is to ensure that materials are available for production and products are available for delivery to customers. Second one, production planning is also to maintain the lowest possible material and also product level in store. And the last one, plan manufacturing activities, delivery schedules, and also purchasing activities. I would like to give to the next presenter.
Thank you, Alif. So, to answer the problem statement, we have asked the manager to investigate this area, which is the production and automation system. So, currently, the Putra Production Company has output of 84, but the manager want to increase it into 100 product per day. So, in order to achieve that, he must have an automated system that can support the demand from the manager. So the production company need to upgrade on the automation system for the production company. The fourth is another factor. The production department of Putra Production Company must come up with the proper production planning. So example of good production planning is by having a proper MRP, MPS, capacity planning, and also workflow planning. And the last one, the production department also must ensure the right strategies to balance the new demanding capacity to meet its criteria, also to reduce the problem that might occur in the production line in the manufacturing department. For example, that they must balance the demanding capacity and as well as make sure that there is no problem regarding the employee and also the automation system. So I will pass to my next friend.
So thank you, Badrul. So for the recommendation part, I will answer about the on issue tools, which about an article and the solution for the problem. So one of the problems that was found was the quality problem. So in the 1970s, a tragedy happened which related to the subcompact car made by Ford Motor Company named as Pinto. So the story of that tragedy happened in 1972, where a woman named Lily Gray drove her Ford Pinto. Suddenly, she stalled as she entered a mesh lane on a California freeway. So then there was another car which traveled about 30 miles per hour, rear-ended her car. Because of that incident, the gas tank of a Pinto ruptured and released gasoline vapors. So the vapors spread quickly to the passenger's compartment, and a spark ignited the mixture, and the car exploded. Due to the accident, Gray died, and her passenger, which named Richard Grimshaw, who was only 13 years old, suffered disfiguring burns and had to undergo many operations. So the reason for the case to happen was due to Ford Motor Company negligence on product quality. So they tend to rush the production of Pinto models onto the market because they want to compete with foreign manufacturers. So from their act, we can say that they ignore the safety of their customers for the sake of earning benefits. So next slide, please. Okay, thank you. So for the recommendation on the ways to overcome the quality problem, one of our suggestion is to implement total quality management or TQM in their company. So what is TQM? TQM is a type of management method that has been implemented widely around the world. So this approach originated in 1950s And in the early of 1980s, it has steadily become more well-known by organizations globally. So this method encouraged the cooperation between management and employees in their involvement for continuous improvement for the production of goods and services. So it can be said as a combination of quality and management tools that targets to increase business and reduce losses due to unnecessary practices. So in order to implement TQM, there are several principles that need to be aware and understand by the organization. So there are a total of 8 key principles that need to be known and which are customer focus, leadership, people involvement, process approach, system approach to management, continuous improvement, factual approach to decision making, and lastly, mutually beneficial supplier relationship. So for the explanation of each principle, we cannot explain it here because it will take much time. So feel free to look for the explanation in the assignment 3 report. So these principles that I mentioned are important for TQM to work well in order to achieve customer satisfaction, increase profits, and most importantly, quality products and services. I think that's all from my part. I will pass to Wilson for the conclusion.
So
So
in the
thank you Nazrul for uh, the great explanation in the recommendation. So for the conclusion, um, the public and private sector are working together to improve industrial infrastructure and expand market share. So in a number of nations, the public and private sector they are working together to upgrade the industrial infrastructure and expand the market to the person to the people. So industrial framework they also been created to implement the uh, contemporary manufacturing environment. So there are several novel automation applications in smart manufacturing, and many more will be added in the coming years. So therefore, other obstacles and trials will undoubtedly cover cover and leading to greater technological progress. So I think that's all from us.